Tonight, pinpointing success. We'll introduce you to two teen entrepreneurs who turned a school project into a multi-million-dollar business. And in the genes, we'll talk to the man behind mycashmere.com about following in the footsteps of his designer mother. Plus, having some consideration. We'll take a look at incivility in the workplace, so keep on your best behavior and stay with us. Entrepreneurs Only starts now. Good evening and welcome to Entrepreneurs Only. I'm Mary Kathleen Flynn, sitting in for Tony Guida. Also tonight, teens and business. More and more are getting in the game early on, but is that such a good idea? We'll take a look at the benefits of starting a business at an early age later in the program. It's not unusual for students to take a year off to travel or do a hitch in the Army or just stop and think about getting some direction in their lives. But imagine interrupting your education to run a multi-million-dollar business. That's what happened to two teenagers from North Carolina, and they thought they could make a better search engine. As Dan Ronan reports, they did.
It would start looking like algebra.
It may look like a familiar scene, students working together to solve a complex homework problem. But this is not a classroom. In fact, 19-year-old Judd Bowman and 18-year-old Taylor Brockman are anything but ordinary. In 1 year, their school project to create a more comprehensive internet search engine and expand the reach of the still developing wireless internet has turned into a multi-million-dollar business. Bowman first came up with an idea for a new way to search the internet while attending a summer camp at MIT last year. After joining forces with Brockman in the fall of their senior year of high school, Pinpoint.com was born.
It definitely is one of those dorm room to boardroom kind of stories, and a lot of it just evolved. We had our initial ideas. We were working on this project late at night, but we realized that what we had business potential. The internet's really important, and we think we solved a pretty important problem.
A better way to search for content-specific information on the web.
The goal of Pinpoint is to create smaller subsets of the web that are content-specific and geared more towards what a vertical portal, or a VORTL as we like to call it, would want in a search engine. We're not trying to scour the entire web to find every single document out there. We are taking a small snapshot of a content-specific area and scouring it completely and really tuning it for what the customer wants.
Bowman drafted the business plan while Brockman, who's been programming since age 10, developed their infrastructure technology. Pinpoint.com Inc. was launched into business last September with $800,000 in angel investing from the Tri-State Investment Group, and soon announced its first portal partnership with Total Sports Inc. Judd Bowman and Taylor Brockman developed the idea for Pinpoint.com here at North Carolina's School of Science and Mathematics. At least temporarily, they've put college on hold at Stanford and North Carolina State respectively, while their business takes off. Reminders of their youth can be found all around their office, a couch and creative tools for research and development, a dartboard to take a break during the day. But early on, the teen entrepreneurs brought in seasoned executives to run the company.
I've been on the other side of the table in the venture capitalist community as well, so I came to this opportunity with that same lens on, can this be a huge opportunity? And I believe that it can be.
Bowman and Brockman say because the web is so big and growing so fast, conventional search engines are not very effective when it comes to very narrow searches, and they believe Pinpoint.com solves that problem.
If you go to one of the search engines like Yahoo or Alta Vista and you do a search, you're going to get millions of results, and half of which have nothing to do with what you're looking for, and that's because a search engine can't read your mind. It's not intelligent enough to do that. And that's because when you type in a search, it could mean so many different things, and that's where our topic-specific search engine comes into play. That's what enables us to slice up the web into those little topics.
And now, with an added $5 million in venture capital funding, Pinpoint is poised to expand its technology into the wireless world, where people can get stock quotes, news updates, receive email, or make airplane reservations on the web.
We have a internal Pinpoint search of this wireless web, and we feel that is going to be the biggest area of boom in the next couple of years.
But wireless technology has a long way to go. Just ask anyone who's ever lost an important cell phone call. Today, the same thing can happen on the wireless web, and a person doing a search may lose valuable information because of a bad connection.
6 years ago, in 1994, who would have thought the internet was going to be what it is today? I was on the internet using Mosaic. accessing the rudimentary web crawler and Yahoo directory. And there were so many naysayers at that time who didn't see the vision of what the internet was going to be today. And yes, the technology has a long way to go. It's going to continue to adapt, but I was there back at the beginning of the web, and I'm here now at this frontier, and they're so similar in the way that they're evolving and growing.
The key difference, Bowman says, is a web without wires gives people in rural parts of the country access to the internet, potentially for the first time, and it opens a whole new market, one Pinpoint says it's ready to serve.
It's saved me and Todd hours.
As for college, both have standing invitations to attend when they're ready.
Well, I don't think I'll take Business 101. I mean,
You're doing
I probably won't take any business classes, to be honest. Education is something that you do your whole life. In many ways, I'm getting educated right now. This is an MBA. It's a real-world application.
It's going to be a little bit different in a couple years, waking up in the morning and going to sitting in a freshman English class rather than just going to my computer workstation and hacking code all day. It'll be a change, but I feel like in a couple years I'm going to want some time to just relax, some time to breathe and just be a kid again.
And if everything works out, with a secure financial future. For Entrepreneurs Only, I'm Dan Ronan, CNN Financial News, Durham, North Carolina.
When we come back, a famous fashion family and a love of cashmere. Add those together and you've got Kay Morey of mycashmere.com when Entrepreneurs Only continues. Kay Morey grew up surrounded by fashion. He's the son of Hanae Mori, a world-famous Japanese designer. But when Kay decided to start a business, he wanted to do it on his own. So with a love of cashmere, he came up with mycashmere.com, the home site for the ultimate luxury in sweaters. And Kay Morey joins me now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I spent a little time on mycashmere.com this afternoon, but for our viewers who haven't seen the website, tell us what you're doing there.
Well, we try to offer luxury product, cashmere, directly to the consumers, so we can offer the value. And we try to create this lifestyle around it. We try to show cashmere sweater, jersey, knits can be worn for weekend for fun or for work or special occasions or gift items. Try to show how practical the item is to fit the lifestyle of modern times.
How rare is cashmere? I mean, as you say, it's a luxury good, and certainly I've grown up thinking that cashmere is an expensive material.
Well, it's a very limited supply. It's a goat, grew up in a desert, very high up in the mountain. So goat, it's on the hair of goat to protect themselves from extreme heat and cold. So it's very difficult to grow them artificially, unlike wool for sheep, for example. Therefore, it's a limited supply. Many countries try to develop them, and very rarely succeeded. So up in the mountain like China, Mongolia, a little bit in Iran, Afghanistan, and New Zealand. That's only countries, actually.
Where does the cashmere for your products come from?
Well, the main part, knits, raw material come from China, spun in China, they're knitted in Hong Kong. Jerseys, we make jerseys made in Italy, cotton sewn in France, and the pashmina scarves from India. We try to choose where best manufacture there.
So that's where the raw materials come from, and then, as you said, you actually manufacture the material in other parts of the world. What's involved in that process?
It's a long process because cashmere is a very delicate material. You have to take very careful treatment for cutting, mixing. So you really need a technology, and for a long time China did not have this technology. So Scottish brought the raw material back to their country and spun them there. So we tried to, 15 years ago, I was involved in a joint venture factory in China to make highest quality cashmere material. And we offer technology and at the best value.
Now, from a personal point of view, why is cashmere something that you've liked and have been drawn to?
Well, since I was a child, I almost loved cashmere. My mother had it all the time. I don't know what it was. How
It's so soft.
Yeah, so soft and cuddly and like a baby blanket. And I didn't know what it was. And I used to ask my mother, what is it? And she says cashmere. And slowly I learned about it. And more I learn it, it's more romantic and mysterious. So I basically fell in love with it.
So who do you think is going to come to mycashmere.com and buy the products? Who's the audience?
Well, I hope, I haven't met anybody who doesn't like cashmere.
It's like chocolate.
I mean, we try to offer best quality product at the most affordable prices. So we hope it's a luxury product for large audience. It's my cashmere, my cashmere. It's really.
What kind of price range are you talking about?
We're talking about from pashmina scarf, from $150. Some very special jacket, maybe $350. Beaded one also, we have pearl beaded. Average, I think, about $220.
Ooh, so it's still a little pricey. Now, why did you go to the internet instead of opening a store?
Well, again, with internet is a wonderful new technology which allow us to work directly with the client. It's a mass, however, it's a one-to-one also, and I believe that allow us to offer the best value, by direct marketing. In fact, we try to minimize expenses. Therefore, we try to concentrate our means on the product and a good website and communication. So we really, we try not waste money on the big rent or big personnel.
When did the site launch?
We had a soft launch in September, and we just had a very official big site event in New York this Monday.
Oh, tell me about that.
We had an event at a very interesting gallery, modern Oriental gallery called Kaikodo, and it's a townhouse, and I thought it was perfect for us because I'm Japanese, and we try to eat East meet West. It's a classic, but a touch of modernity, and this place represents perfectly of the message we try to transmit.
Now, you're not only doing the entrepreneurial mycashmere.com, but you're still working for the family business. How do you juggle that?
Well, I live in Paris. I represent the family business, Hanai Mori business in Paris. I also go back often to Japan. I also involve a little bit of music business with Seiji Ozawa. But thanks again, technology of email. That's wonderful. I could be anywhere. And
I'm a big fan of email too.
Yes, I enjoy what I do. So this is a year of challenge, and I'd like to create the synergy of what I'm doing.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Kay Mori, and the website is mycashmere.com, and indeed, it's soft and cuddly.
Thank you very much.
And just ahead, a rude awakening for you. We'll take a look at the growing problem of incivility in the workplace when Entrepreneurs Only continues.